I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
You're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 10. Last episode, we were introduced to the curse, the affliction that Nadeko currently has.
Mm-hmm.
We, as in Araragi and Kambaru, Araragi was very considerate and in his word choice of handling the situation with Kambaru's help.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we left off.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of confidence in a guess for what the purpose or reason behind this curse is, but we brought up a couple of options in last episode's discussion. We'll see, I guess.
We will see. We will definitely see.
Okay, you're right.
We're gonna learn everything that we need to learn.
We'll see if we were anywhere close or if we, just like before, we're nowhere close and it blows our minds.
Which is, I'm okay with that too.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Snake cutter, snake rope. Just called the serpent.
Someone's malice.
A friend from her class?
ジャギリナは素人に扱えるような怪じゃないんだけど、なんでそのお友達はお嬢ちゃんに呪いをかけようとしたんだい？どうも色恋沙汰らしい。ああ。ここが戦国に告って戦国がそうとは知らずに振っちゃった。蛇を殺せば蛇の呪いが解けるなんて嘘くさい話だけどな。初めてから。
See what Ocean was sitting on?
いや、荒良木君、ジャギリナの撃退法としちゃ間違っていないよ。というか商法だね。だったらな。
Maybe it has been doing
She
something.
messed up the procedure.
呪いを解くのは呪いをかけるより難しい。単価な知識でやったら状況が悪化するのは当然だよ。それに
Luck wasn't on her side.
Did you ever, in like middle school when you were younger, go and do any sort of like, not curses, but like go into the school bathroom and say something into the mirror?
No, I would bring in like a office folder with pages of like evidence for something supernatural. Like I'd be like, have you guys ever heard of shadow people? And I'd like bring out like 15 pages of lore of what they were and then like potential pictures of them. People didn't like me a lot in middle school. Is this your favorite song out of all the intros? I wonder if that still would have been the case if you didn't know the song before you...
Maybe.
Nice.
Like a relief.
Look at this shot. It's so interesting seeing the door frame like that. Just silhouetted. She could die.
So it's basically there
Constantly
actually constricting her body.
Wow. Cool shot.
Shouldn't even have worked.
Since it was cast by an amateur.
Why did it work? So she believed it was real and basically...
Oh. Man. I hope Oshino's okay after that fall.
The vampire!
What?
Made it worse for herself in trying to break it.
いや、ちゃんと手順を踏みさえすればジャギリナーの存在を際立たせるから、むしろ都合がいいんだ。本当はその鱗の後大丈夫？
あ
怒らないで小読みお兄ちゃん。
いや、
Dead end.
責めてるわけじゃないんだが大丈夫なのかなって思って。
我慢できないほどじゃないよ。
あ、barbed wire.
我慢しなきゃいけないのが、痛い時は痛いでいいんだ。
その通りだぞ。縛られるだけならまだしも、縛られっぱなしというのは。
縛られることをまだしもと表現する理由も、兄に精神的なきつさを除外した理由もわからねえよ、カンバル。じゃあ行くぞ。
Are those like flashlights?
The imagery is so neat.
Oh, they are flat. That was such a cool way to show the
Right.
flashlights turning on.
I love that it's like just extremely bright on our end of seeing it because of the flashlights being there.
There we go. That's how dark it is for them.
Wow.
男の子からの告白。
Because she has a crush.
それは他に好きな人がいるからだよ。
I love the lights
The
getting
light's almost kind of
closer.
touching a little bit.
私のことどれくらい覚えてる？
正直あんまり。僕記憶力のいい方じゃないからさ。
そうなんだ。
戦国の方こそよく僕のことを。
あんまり人と遊ぶことなかったから。放課後まで一緒に遊ぶような友達ってララちゃんくらいだ。ララちゃんとは中学で別々になっちゃったけど、そんなことは全部大切な思い出だから。
Oh, they got separated because they went to different
そ
schools.
れになでこ一人っ子だから、お兄ちゃんって
Ah,
羨ましかった。
the green.
And now commercials.
とっとと準備するか。
It's easier to handle something if you know what you're getting into.
肌の見えやすい服を用意してくれとは頼んだが。で、スクール水着を持ってくるんだ。
私としては荒木先輩の好みに合わせたつもりだったんだが、
Play to your taste.
Mario.
好みなのは否定しないのだな。
It seems like it goes as high as like the collarbone at the
Yeah.
moment.
そのお守りを力いっぱいに呼吸を整えて祈ればいいんだってさ。
祈るって何に？
何かに。この場合は。
わかった。頑張る。なでこのことちゃんと見ててね。
ああ。
Oh. What a great version of the score.
小読みお兄ちゃん。そんなことないです。なでこのこといじめないし、それすごく優しいし、この前だってなでこの自転車、こんなに優しいお兄さんがいて。小読みお兄ちゃんっていいですか？あれ？
Whoa.
Scale, scale. It's like it's coming off.
What a
Wow.
amazing way to visualize it.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. And then the kanji breaking apart.
進みそうだな。
Hopefully there's not an issue though.
また押野さんに借りを作ってしまったな。代償をかなり要求されたのではないのか？
He's already in debt.
いいや。あれに関しては借りはないんだ。吹き溜まりになってるって話はしただろう。
うん。
妖怪大戦争になってたかもしれない。危
Whoa.
険なものだったんだ。この神社にお札を貼ったことで、僕らはそれを。
Okay, so you basically made things
そんなことだ
safer.
ったのか。
あのお守りはそのお釣りだって。
Is it hurting?
大樹の儀式とは。
Why are the scales so there? Like they're still.
それはやめておいた方がいい。そんなことをしたら間違いなくジャギリナーは。
たとえそれを回避しても、そのクラスメートのところに帰ってしまう。
Interesting.
人を呪わば穴二つということだな。
ああ、
人を呪わば穴二つ。
Mm.
荒木君、この言葉をよく覚えて この言葉の意味もよく考えておいてね。いつか僕もこの町を出ていく。
Living here forever.
そうなった時、僕はもう荒木くんの
Come
相
to
談
me
に
for
乗ってあげる
advice.
ことはできない。
It's like he's trying to teach him these
会議って
things.
のはさ、意図的に関わるべきものじゃないんだよ。
Whew.
でも荒木くんはほっといていいものまで。知ってしまったらどうしようもないだろう。見て見ぬふりはできないよ。委員長ちゃんみたいに全部忘れちゃえればよかったかい。
Ah.
ある日突然挨拶もなして姿を消したりはしないさ。僕も大人だからね。でも進路のことを考えるついでにそういうことを考えてみてもいいと思うよ。
人を助けようとするのは無責任だってことか。でも星野、僕はお前みたいになれないよ。僕は1割くらい吸血鬼、怪異そのものだからな。怪異を払う側の人間には。
荒木くん。荒木くんは忍ちゃんを見捨てればいつだって完全な。
What?
If you ever feel like it, you can abandon.
What?
荒木先輩
Oh no.
何があった？
そういうことなのか荒木先輩。
How do we know?
いや、そんなはずは。
The indentation, even.
Oh, what?
カマル、勘違いしてた。僕らにも見えてさえいれば、こんなのすぐにわかることだったのに。
どういう
What is
ジャギリナは一匹じゃなかったんだ。2匹いたんだよ。
two snakes?
きしょ。
What the fuck do you do?
What do you do if there's two?
離れて。カンバル。
One curse, two holds
戦
dug.
国のことを逆恨みしていたのは友達だった女の子だけじゃない。戦国にそれにされたという。見えなくても触れるはずなんだ。
Oh. Oh,
It's biting
shit.
him! Oh!
Oh. Is it going to
He's taking one of them,
fuck.
it seems like.
Oh!
Oh! Oh my god.
No! Kanbaru!
No! Wait.
Okay. Okay. Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
おとなしくしろ。興奮すれば毒が回るぞ。
Poison.
ヘビは希少の荒い生き物だが臆病なんだ。
それじゃ戦国に振られたっていうあの男の子のところに蛇が。
荒木先輩。
You can't save anyone.
Choose the
Everyone.
wrong person to save.
Oh.
And that's coming from someone who was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
もう間に合わない。追いかけようとしても見えない蛇を追うなんて僕には無理だ。
荒木先輩。
ごめん。辛い役目をやらせて。
謝らないでほしい。立つ瀬がない。
ごめん。カンバル。本当に。ごめん。蛇は帰る。使わしたものの場所へと。
赤闇お兄ちゃん。
カンバルの判断は正しかった。怪異そのものに対応できるわけもない。
Oh.
諦めきれなかっただけだ。
I just hadn't been able to give up.
赤闇お兄ちゃん。
That's a fucking line.
助けてくれてありがとう。
ありがとうなんて言わないでくれ。お前からそんなことを言ってもらう資格はない。あろうことか。
Putting the blood behind his
お前が
back.
呪った人間までも。
I was trying to save the person that did this to you.
Okay, that was Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 10. Right away, can we go back to the conversation that Araragi had with Oshino about the shrine leading into the vampire, and then at the end of the episode when that's brought up again, about him being able to return to his humanity. Okay. The shrine where the little lady slaughtered the snake used to be an insignificant place. But that was before Shinobu came. A legendary vampire of noble pedigree. A legendary vampire. The King of Oddities, the vampire. Thanks to that, all sorts of bad things started gathering at that shrine. That's why you weren't feeling well. It's not as if I'm going to be living here forever. When I'm gone, you're not going to be able to come to me for advice, you know? Oddities aren't something you should go out seeking. You have a tendency to try to do something even when you could just leave it alone. Would it have been better if you'd forgotten it all like Miss Class Rep? And do you think, like, when they say forgotten it all, it's like something Oshino was able to do or give, or something to take that memory away for Hanekawa?
I think that it's possible that you could add something like this into the story with the fact that the crab was able to remove or kind of block out some of Senjigahara's memories.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, I think that someone who knows some priest things or knows maybe how to bless someone in a certain way or make a contract with a god could help you with that. But I also don't feel like Hanekawa doesn't remember because of the fact that she knows who Oshino is.
Yeah. So what you're trying to say is that it's irresponsible for me to attempt to save everyone, but Oshino, I could never become someone like you. I'm at least partly vampire, an actual oddity. I can't get on the human side and go around banishing oddities. Araragi, if you ever feel like it, you can abandon Shinobu and go back to being a full-fledged human. Like, holy shit, first of all.
Yeah.
But this episode, more than anything for me, I adored it pivoting to being able to see more of Araragi's potential flaw in what we've seen the first 9 episodes, of the fact that he feels the need to help everybody. And that seemingly is the only is the issue and reason that he's part vampire right now, that he doesn't want to, he even wants to help Shinobu, the King of Oddities, and wants to give something there.
This is the first episode so far that we even get maybe true consequences for him, and this, not even consequences, but this kind of the dilemma coming to pass that he maybe can't or shouldn't save everyone. This is the first time that that's really happening for him. Like in the previous kind of arc with Kanbaru, he wants to save Kanbaru, and it is the right choice technically for him to do that because of Senjigahara. And yes, he has relationship consequences where Senjigahara is like, you know, I told you not to get involved. Like, also don't keep secrets from me. Don't just go into things blindly and let yourself get hurt. Like, there's relationship consequences, but nothing, I would say, that brings him to this confrontation moment where if he tried to actually save this person, he would die here. Or something really horrible would happen. Like with Kanbaru, like, yeah, we watched him get beat to a pulp.
Yeah.
But there were other plans in place that could stop it from happening. Oshino called Senjigahara.
Yeah.
Here, I think that we have a line that is something like that about him, even, that this is not something he necessarily could have handled, even if he is part vampire.
When they say if you ever feel like it, you can abandon Shinobu, does it imply that there would be negative consequence to Shinobu if Araragi left?
I'm gonna guess that with him feeding her some of his blood before fighting Kanbaru, that it could lead you to believe that they have a symbiotic relationship where, like, he is staying a vampire or half vampire, and he's keeping her alive in the process. Which is also, like, you know, it's not just, he's told us before, we shouldn't be surprised by this, that he has said that there is no distinction with him in terms of saving or helping a person versus a beast.
Yeah.
And we got that line from him when he met Hachikuji. And Hachikuji, as we know, is not a live human.
Yeah.
So we've already seen, but in a very innocent form of a child, the fact that he would protect even a monster. And then in this episode, we're getting him trying to protect a human that has done something awful.
I wonder, it goes into like what the origin of him becoming the vampire is, and how a vampire as an oddity works within the series. Was a curse cast upon Araragi? Was the vampire predatory in the sense that Araragi was just a victim and did not do anything to elicit it jumping onto him, it like being attached to him? Did it come out of nowhere and Araragi was just walking down the street, Shinobu appeared, attached herself to Araragi, and then in trying to fix himself, he had the option, okay, yep, we can turn you back into human. The vampire's gonna die though. And then he's like, wait, is there any middle ground here? You know? Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I'm leaning on it.
Right. I have no guess of how that initial moment or interaction happened. I feel like all I am being given at the moment is starting to feel pretty strongly about the fact of like, okay, how do we fix you, Araragi? Oh, well, if we fix you, Shinobu would cease to exist, or we'd have to kill her. And he was just like, nah, I don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
But I think that conversation, if you're done with this dialogue. Yeah. Okay. If you're done with that dialogue, I think that leads into the end of the episode where Araragi is getting thanked by Nadeko, and he is basically like, don't thank me, or that's at least what he's internally thinking, because he was trying to save the person who cursed you.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear that Araragi, as someone, while as someone that will insert himself into other people's business, even if they explicitly tell him not to get involved, it's interesting here to see his level of awareness again, because we've had his level of awareness, like, hey, I know this is an unappreciated intervening that I'm doing with, say, like when he's on the phone with Hanakawa talking about Senjugahara and Kanbaru. And here, again, he's like, this is, I think what he's painting here is his wanting to save people, even people that are trying to kill him or hurt other people, is purely a selfish, and he's fully aware of the fact that this is something that he's doing for himself.
Yeah.
And in a roundabout way, you could convince yourself that it'd be beneficial for other people, but I don't think he's ever tried to convince us that he's doing this for other people. Mm-hmm. I think that he's been pretty clear from the beginning that he's aware that what he's doing is going against what they want.
It's bred from an innate, like, strong feeling within Araragi of, okay, somebody's in need of help, I need to go help them, period. Like, regardless if people tell me not to, in, let's say, Kanbaru's case, right, when Senjugahara was like, don't pry too far into it, Araragi felt that innate, like, well, I still want to do what I think it would be helping them. I don't, like, staying still would hurt, What
bred him to be this way? What lived experience is this canonical from the beginning of his birth to the personality of his character? Has he always, from Nadeko, we have this idea that he's just a kinder older brother, but that doesn't necessarily completely answer the question of how he is now and why he basically recklessly throws his life and his body into harm's way to help other people.
Yeah.
You can be a nice older brother figure and still not do that for strangers or your sister's friends alike, Yeah. So did it all start with the moment of first interaction with Shinobu before even becoming a vampire? Whatever led to him interacting with Shinobu the first time, is that what catapulted him into this? He may selfishly now has been, is it because he feels like he's not human anymore? Is that why he feels this selfish desire to aid others? Maybe what he had done was harmful to other people, and now he's trying to karma-wise make up for it with being so recklessly like selfless in terms of always trying to help everyone.
Yeah.
We have this line that's like a curse one person, dig two holes.
Which is a great line.
And I keep thinking about that line because it just feels like it's supposed to apply to a bunch of different instances. Like if you think about Kambaru was cursing Araragi, and it basically was digging 3 holes. One for her, one for him, and one for Senjugahara. Like the fact that you put something out in the universe that is harmful toward one person, it is a ripple effect. It is not just going to affect that person. It could affect your own heart and the people that also love that person.
Yeah. I thought it was so interesting that, like, the idea of there being 2 snakes, right? It was such, like, out of nowhere that I wouldn't have thought of that being the issue. Like I was like, oh, if it doesn't go perfectly here, it's because the curse doesn't work, right? But no, the curse, like, or the way of removing the curse doesn't work. No, like we get to see the visualization of that first snake being taken away and broken up in kanji, but that second snake still lingering was wild.
The fact that there were 2, I gotta say, the visuals of not only we had great visuals in this episode, we also had really great cuts, like theatrical cut, and then cut for commercials.
Yeah.
Like really funny to have that in where we also have this girl literally being suffocated, which is like horrifying to watch, and it really makes you think of what they're doing with the lighting dynamically to show kind of, yes, this show might have comedy energy and good banter at times and really interesting theatrical art and design for the setting and the characters and how we show emotion and feeling with Aragi's little hair wisp.
Yeah.
But what they did with the lighting of walking up the mountain that we were talking about in the episode, it literally is talking on the actual show itself. What was done from an artistic direction was embodying what's happening in the episode and how Bakemonogatari so far seems to handle things, which is that we're shown them walking up this mountain. It almost feels light. You could almost mistake that maybe it's daytime, but there's just a lot of shadow because they're basically walking through a bamboo forest. And we get this really cool flashlight, you know,
the 3
like
flashlight.
On.
Yeah.
But then you don't really get to see how the flashlights are working until we get this really cool cut to actually seeing how dark it is there.
Which breeds the backstory and the flashback of
beginning, yes.
Yeah, Nadeko and Aragi
asking, you know, like, do you remember? He's like, I have a bad memory. She, you know, from cloaked by the darkness, blushes. You know, is probably slightly upset or saddened by the fact that he doesn't have or hold the same importance of that memory in his own mind. He
fixed her bike chain, and it is, man, it genuinely...
And didn't bully her.
Yeah, but it's so sad thinking, like, the main... It's not like, you know, Aragi's little sister, Rara, like, did anything mean to Nadeko. It's just they went to different middle schools, so then Nadeko lost the only friend that she had. One thing I wanted to just shine light on, they've done it, I think 3 times or 4 times now, but it's my favorite thing when they take the OP and do an instrumental slowed version of it. It's specifically here, beautiful.
I know that you asked, I think during the episode, if my love for this song is purely because, like, or is amplified by the fact that I knew it prior. It might be the case. I mean, the chorus, like, it is something that I sing in the car, even though I've never known what it was from. And so I think that my attachment to it, and maybe my attachment to Nadeko specifically, is probably, I think that it is definitely helped by the fact that I already enjoyed that song prior. Because then it makes me enjoy the character that much more, because I'm like, oh, that's the song that's attached to her. And then it makes the scene where you hear her song again in the slowed down version more emotional for me, because I really know this. I haven't just had 3 episodes with the song like you have. Like, this was like, I've heard it more. I've heard
Yeah.
it a lot, and I sing the chorus. So it was more emotional for me, as if I had watched 12 episodes of this show with the same OP song. And then you get it in the finale, like Mob Psycho.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're having some dynamic emotional scene at the end of an anime, and we bring back the original OP playing, and you're crying as you're watching it.
I have like a specific love for a shot of Kambaru this episode, of her looking in the flashlight and it being like the warped perspective of her as a reflection. Kambaru is one of the best characters in the show. She is so fucking helpful on so many different levels and is one of the most entertaining characters to see on screen.
I feel like in this episode, we understand more of why she's involved here. At first, when we get into this Nadeko arc, we have Aragi and Kanbaru have dialogue kind of about like how Senjigahara has her on this mission to kind of watch over Aragi and report back. But I feel like this episode gives you the deeper of what it is, which is, we talk in the last couple episodes about literal debt that someone owes, like actual money that they owe.
Yeah.
But I believe that Kanbaru feels like she owes a debt. In this episode, we have her shove Araragi out of the way and tell him that some people, like, you shouldn't save.
Make sure that you save the right person.
Save the right person. That tells me Kanbaru doesn't believe that she should have necessarily been saved.
Like, there's guilt coming from there. Like, she cursed Araragi.
She tried to murder someone, and she knows full well that the place that she's in, being given forgiveness and life from Araragi, is something that she's not going to take advantage of. She is going to be a good friend to Senjigahara and be a good friend to Araragi and help out Araragi with his reckless missions of helping other people because of this debt she feels like emotionally she owes to the universe. Like, she tried to kill someone and she wanted them dead.
Yeah. Places like that are dangerous because they could turn into a huge spiritual war at the drop of a hat. That's crazy, man. That's insane. Is there any chance that one of the future Monogatari series is Araragi is like the Oshino in that world?
That is really interesting that this episode places this idea of Oshino not being here forever, which does not give me the energy of death. It gave me like he might be more nomadic.
He
like,
needs to go inspire others.
He goes from place to place, you know, wherever maybe there's more work for him, you know, where he can make more money, or maybe he just doesn't stay in one place for too long because he could get, you know, people would be suspicious of him. So I think that that's a really interesting idea, and it is being placed here is what is Araragi's job or duty, or what is his future? And we've been getting this idea of what is Araragi's future on a very human level prior to this episode. Like, what college are you gonna go to? Are you gonna live with Senjigahara? You have a relationship now and she wants to live together and go to school together and think about the future. And then in this episode, it's bringing up what is his future in terms of, is he always going to be here trying to get involved in oddities and saving people?
Yeah.
Is that the future that he truly wants, and is that his full focus? I kind of hope it is, because more entertainment for me, him getting involved in different oddities.
Yeah. Man. Wonder what's next.
I don't know what's next. I just feel like we have learned something in this episode that is that even if you were a middle school child and you were a little grumpy at someone and just decided to curse them, you know, that's not cool.
Yeah. I thought that it was super interesting that you didn't have to include that by trying to understand and fix it, Nadeko made it worse. And I think that is such like a leaning into the occult side of things. Like, in the little bit of knowledge or research that I've done with like spiritualism, like that is very much prominent.
The power
process.
even of the belief.
Yeah.
That obviously to interfere and to start doing her own sort of rituals, what she's bringing forth with that is a very strong belief that it is real. Where we could think that one or both of the kids that cursed her might have had a smaller percentage of belief that it was true in comparison. Maybe but the feelings is what's important. Like they had a grudge. So the feelings were important, and it might have been cathartic for them at the time to be like, oh, I curse her, and then they felt better.
Yeah.
And not thinking that anything would come of it. You know, in the same way of like the devil, the rainy devil, the monkey's paw, like, but different. Maybe. It could be different. Kanbaru, when she wants to run faster than the other kids, no, she actually had malicious feeling and intent. Here, I think it could be said that, like, we don't have exact confirmation that the kids that cursed Nadeko fully believed what they were doing was actually going to harm her.
Like, you're suggesting that they weren't like, yeah, we're going to fucking kill her by cursing her right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, like, there's more room here to be like, they played with fire, maybe not even necessarily understanding what fire was.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Same. That's all I have.
Or we just have a bunch of kids in this world that are trying to kill everyone.
Hey, man. It happens.
It happens.
Kids
These days.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.